Everyone tends to glamorize the world of entrepreneurship, right? You have some people where they say you can make $1 million overnight if you just meditate all day. And then you have the other group of people that they tell you you have to eat 15 egg whites in the morning, go on a 3-mile run, do your bed 4 times, practice your meditation, practice your gratitude, all before 6 a.m. And then you have the other group of people that tell you that being successful is all about luck, and it all comes down to having being at the right place at the right time, right? Now, my thoughts on all of this really doesn't matter as much as my experience about all of this, because you can think about something, right, and have your own thoughts on it, but what you actually experience is a completely different, really a completely different scenario. So with that in mind, I wanted to bring up 4 things that, just to be honest with you, people don't necessarily tell you, especially when you're starting a business or when you're getting your side hustle off the ground. I don't expect this video to have a ton of views just because, or at least compared to my other videos, just because I think that this is a bit more niche. And I think that this is something that someone would really want to be searching for. So if this video gets anywhere near what my other videos get, then in my opinion, that would be accomplishment in and of itself. But not everything that we put out on this channel is for the views. And obviously, I'm well aware of what gets the views and what doesn't. So when it comes to 4 things that you really want to take a look at, or that people don't necessarily tell you, that I'm going to expose in this video, and you're going to want to streamline this with what you're doing right now in your business, how you're running your business, if you have any employees, if you have a product, if you have an LLC, wherever you are in these stages of your entrepreneurship or of your side hustle career, your business, you're going to want to take a look at these 4 things and see, okay, what part of this can I fit into where I'm at right now that will help me obviously catapult into the next phase of my entrepreneurial career and into further development. And that's this. Number 1, you're going to need to be more creative than you think you are right now, right? There's a certain level of creativity that it takes, a certain level of energy that it takes to be an entrepreneur. When you're an entrepreneur, when you're starting a business, you need to not only, especially when you're starting out, you are in charge of the marketing department, you're in charge of the customer service, you're in charge of product development, you're in charge of design, you're in charge of content creation. You have to pretty much take off all of these different hats and put them on, in hopes that you'll get noticed, or in hopes that you'll strike the right audience attention, right? And as it should be, you're not trying to sell, let's say, water to someone who has access to an entire public cooler. If your purpose is to sell water, you're obviously looking for the people that are thirsty, or the people that are out there doing some kind of extracurricular activity where they are a bit drenched, right? They're sweaty. They're looking for your product. So here's what this means for you in your creativity. How you deliver your message, your cadence may need to change. Now, I know that I've mentioned something like this over on my YouTube course, and if you've ever wanted to start a YouTube channel, you can find the link to that down in the description. But I actually mentioned something about it not being just about the views, kind of like what I mentioned in this video, right? That this video, I don't expect it to get a lot of views, but I know that the people that actually look at this video and actually apply what we're talking about in this video are going to take their businesses to the next level. And so I mentioned that to say this second thing right here. Apart from you being creative, you don't necessarily need to have the best product in town, and you don't necessarily need to be the best at what you do. Now, slow down right there, Irv, because I'm pretty familiar with some of the content that's out there that you need to 10x, that you need to be the best at what you do, that you need to eat your competition for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, that you need to outwork everyone, that you need to grind it out, that you need to work 70 hours when your competition is sleeping, right? We've all heard that, right? And that has some truth to it in its own context. But when we're referring to not necessarily being the best at what you do or not having the best product, here's what I mean. Can you right now say that there's someone that you maybe watch, either on YouTube or on TV, that isn't necessarily the best actor, or isn't necessarily, let's say, the best entrepreneur, but there's something about the way that they carry their message or something about their lifestyle that kind of just attracts us to them, right? I mean, I think we can all have a name, or at least have that one or 2 people in our lives that we can kind of think at, okay, if this person can do it, I can do it. But it's not so much about putting someone down of, okay, this person is lesser than. It's about the way that that person has positioned themselves and their product. I think that the best example that I can use is going to be McDonald's. You see, McDonald's doesn't necessarily have the best burgers, but they, for whatever reason, have the best systems that put themselves in front of the right audience where they're able to serve, a billion people a year, right? Whatever their slogan is up on their billboards, we're able to serve a billion happy customers every year. Now, obviously, that's arguable. If you think that McDonald's does have the best burgers, I'm going to go ahead and kindly disagree with you right there, because I think that there's local mom and pop shops that have better burgers than McDonald's, but McDonald's has mastered and crafted a way to stay in front of the right audience without necessarily having the best product. They just have the best placement of that product, which is going to be important for you as you continue to develop yourself as an entrepreneur and as a business owner. Number 3, network and connections matter. I don't care who you are. You could think that you are the Michael Jordan of business in your local town. You could think that you are the Tiger Woods of, let's say, the coffee shop that you own, or if you are a content creator. But there is something about doing an activity or building in a group, because on the days that you feel down, someone else is going to help pick you back up, and vice versa. On the days that, let's say, someone needs to pick me up, you're going to be there, and sometimes you both feed off of that energy. Or if you're part of that accountability, you guys feed off of that energy. We like to also refer to them as running mates, right? Who's your running mates? Who are you running with? Keep in mind, they don't necessarily need to have the same goals as you. I associate myself with people that don't have a YouTube channel. I associate myself with people that don't like being in front of the camera. I associate myself with people that they don't have any online businesses, but where they're headed in their businesses and in their entrepreneurship careers, I can definitely pick up a thing or two from what they're doing, that in retrospect, they can also maybe learn a thing or two from what I'm doing online and how I build my businesses online. This is important to know, because not everyone that you are going to be running with has the same end goal as you do, but they are all going in an upward trend, which is something to really keep in mind as you are building your legacy and as you are building off of your entrepreneur and business journey. Now, number 4, which in my opinion is most likely going to be the biggest truth to all of this, at least from my personal experience, is even though you have creativity, even though you may not have the best product, and even though you have your running mates, understand that the best is that you have, the ones that hit you at night, the ones that you wake up with a euphoric feeling, the ones that you feel like, man, if this doesn't make me an overnight sensation, I have no idea what will. Those ideas, I hate to break it to you, but those ideas are probably going to flop. And the reason that those ideas are probably going to flop is because they're going to take a little bit of refinement. You maybe have the right idea, but you are maybe getting it at the wrong time, because timing is everything. You could have the right idea, but you could be pitching it to the wrong audience. You might have the right idea, but you may not be articulating that message, or you might not be necessarily developing that business model, that strategy, that product in a way that's appealing to your audience. This is why you'll have one YouTube channel that talks about stocks, finance, and let's say money or book reviews that has hundreds of thousands of views. And then you have another channel that's literally talking about the same book, the same stock, the same way, save money, cut down expenses, have a budget, and then they only have like 20 views on their videos. And the reason for that is because that person hasn't necessarily found the way to articulate or develop that message in a way that it pleases an audience that wants to make them come back. And so the way that I think about this in the business world, away from obviously creating content and away from the social media world, is you could have an idea that you think is better than what it really is, and it's up to the market to decide, is this really a good idea? You see, a lot of people think that it's just, let's say, YouTube algorithm, or it's just the Instagram algorithm, or it's just the TikTok algorithm. There's actually an algorithm in the real world, and that's called the marketplace. And so when you present that idea or that product to the marketplace, they're gonna let you know whether it's a good idea, whether it's a bad idea, or whether it's on the brink of a breakthrough, but it just needs a little bit of refinement. And then from there, you're able to fine tune it. So you have to remove your ego out of the equation if you want to get to that next phase of your business development. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts on obviously building businesses, on entrepreneurship, and then when it comes to some of the things that maybe people aren't necessarily telling you that I think you should know, at least from someone that has experience in what I'm talking about. If you found value in this content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below, join the official community. Don't forget that anytime we're not posting on here, we're posting over on the Inside with Irv show, which is our podcast style channel. So if you like what we have going on over here, you'll love what we have going on over there. Once again, I appreciate you guys checking us out. Until next time, everyone, I will see you in the next video.